This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
I added it up. So I've been doing this 9 years. I'm sure it's at $1 million I've spent on sugar dating. I mean, you think about it. If I'm giving you, let's say, $5,000 or $6,000 a month in allowance, that doesn't even include
date nights,
the dates, the travel, the tickets to shows, the dinners. It doesn't include any of that.
Plus the other girls that you're also dating.
That's just you. I pay for your gym membership. I pay for your car insurance. I pay for all your food while you're working. I noticed those go on my credit card. So there's a lot. So when you add it up, I'm like, damn, times 9. I'm spending this much a year times 9. Holy shit.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Welcome to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Here's your host, Marcus.
Welcome to another episode of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy, the #1 sugar dating podcast in the world, where we pull back the curtains on the good and the bad. And Alejandra.
Hi, Marcus.
No, the shocking stories of sugar dating. You know the routine. You're supposed to say something oddball like Lily always does.
Yeah, well, she's not here.
Yeah, well, that's why you're filling in. All right. You see that Alejandra is filling in. Lily is in, where's she at? Disneyland?
She is.
With her kids are on spring break.
Her family.
Sugar daddy's paying for it all, I'm sure. And then we've got a big trip to New York City coming up. You excited?
Yes.
You've never been?
First time.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. What are you wanting to do while you're there?
Shopping.
Yeah?
Eating.
That's it?
No, I want to eat and I don't know, everything.
So have you ever seen a play, like a Broadway play, that's traveling like here in Arizona or anything?
No.
So you've never seen a
Okay, actually I'm looking forward to the Wicked Broadway show. Yes.
So we watched that movie.
I enjoyed it.
It was terrible.
No.
We had to buy it because it wasn't even... Anyway, I paid way too much for that because we didn't even finish it. We fell asleep.
You did.
You didn't even finish it.
I finished it.
No, when did you finish it? Another day?
Yes. I only had 10 minutes more to go.
Oh. It was okay, but I'm hoping the play will be better. I know that's one of them that we're seeing. What other one?
The Book of Mormon.
Yeah, I can't remember if we're going to be there for that one or not. Well, we'll figure it out.
You've seen it. You've seen that one, though.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's funny. It's good. Knowing a lot about the LDS background, it's a lot of fun.
What are you looking forward to? Experiencing?
I like to people watch. And New York City is the best. And just the eclectic cultures walking around everywhere. You're going to hear 100 different languages as you walk down the street. We're staying right in the tourist area.
Yeah.
And meeting up with some people, fans of the show, people who have been to our parties. So looking forward to that. But basically, it's Lily's 55th birthday, and she's going to experience 5 plays in 5 days. And she's got family coming up, so they're going to kind of separate that whole thing. We got to do the family thing, and then the family's leaving, and then we can do the the other friends thing. We can't mix them.
Exactly.
Because the family doesn't really know about all that, her other lifestyle or other side. Not yet. After this podcast with Fargo Talks in Las Vegas, she may be outed. I'm certainly outed. If you haven't seen that, we have it on our Patreon, a link to it. Actually, we have, a link to the YouTube. It's like what, an hour and 15 minutes long. Mm-hmm. You were there.
I was.
What did you think of the whole thing?
I like it. You guys hit a lot of really good points.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to talk all about sugar dating. He asked a lot of great questions, and we got to kind of explain the misconceptions of sugar dating, which constantly needs explaining, because we're not just all dirty old men trying to hook up with a young, hot college girl.
Oh, no.
Although that happens. It does happen. And, it can be nice. But that's not what we're finding was the majority of the lifestyle of what's going on out there.
Very true.
We're going to get into a lot of things with Alejandra today, but I just want to remind you guys, the party is coming up. If you want to be a sponsor, I'm telling you, I've never really run out of sponsor spots before. We are getting very close to running out. So if you want to be a sponsor, you better hurry. It's going to be an event you will never forget. So message us at info@secretsofasugardaddy.com or message us on, Patreon or Instagram. Lots of ways to get a hold of us. Now, if you want to join us as a sugar baby or, as a fan of the show, you can go to our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com, press the party tab. You will find all the details. I actually just booked the Airbnbs. That's what I did this week. So we've got some really cool Airbnbs in South Scottsdale. They're minutes from Old Town. They're minutes from my house. Very, very convenient. The girls all love them. They're kind of set up for big party or big groups. They're like 5-6 bedrooms each. So, and I think they have pools and jacuzzis and yeah, even though it's going to be hotter than hell in the summer, still, you enjoy the pool for sure. And the jacuzzi, I mean, you can use those all year long. I don't care how hot it is outside.
You need one.
Yeah, we're working on it. I'm getting closer. So we've got the Airbnbs booked for the sugar babies. It's all free for you. We're providing housing thanks to our Sugar Daddy sponsors. We are providing a fantastic party before the Shakira concert. So on Saturday night, I've got it booked at our country club. We've got a DJ. We've got a photo booth. We've got a dance floor. We've got a bartender, private bartender. We're going to have food and drinks. That's a lot of fun, isn't it, Alejandra?
Oh, my God. Yes.
Now, you guys almost enjoyed that more than the concert.
I did. I feel like it's more intimate. People can really take their time to get to know each other, and it's more personable. Where at a concert, you're still having a good time, but it's just more loud, and I don't feel like you're getting a lot of one-on-one.
Yeah. So this will be the kind of get to know each other mixer, because we got a lot of new people coming in. I've got a ton of applications, and I'm going to apologize right now. There's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to be selected, and I hate to do that. I want to include everybody, but I only have so many spots. Now, we are thinking, and I'll let you know, of doing kind of a situation where you can come party with us on the weekend, because I can have pretty much an unlimited number of people at the country club party, but I only have 40 tickets to the Shakira suite, the private suite. Now, if you want to come to the Shakira concert, you can probably pick up, or we might even buy it, a cheap ticket, but you're not going to be in the suite. You're just going to be down with the rest of the people. But it'll still be fun because you could still
enjoy the concert.
So I don't know. We're going to try to include as many people as we can, but I only have a certain number of tickets to the private suite, and that's it. So get your application in. We still have spots available. We've chosen a couple people at this point because they're coming like from Australia and London and other places. They need to make reservations and plans way ahead of time. But for our locals, we still haven't chosen them. So don't get your hopes dashed if you haven't heard yet. And we're going to do our very, very best to accommodate as many people as we can. But we would love for you guys to apply and come. And then, okay, so we got the country club party then, and then the next day we have a pre-party at my house, like a kind of a little get-together before we all jump on the party bus. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of fun, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have the girls dancing in the pole dancing.
The girl and $2.
And $2. and
even
Marcus.
Even Trucker on the pole. And that will take us to the arena. It's not even called Footprint Arena now. I think they're calling it Phoenix Arena. It just changed its name. So anyways, where the Suns play. It's downtown Phoenix. It's a great venue for concerts. We just went and saw Justin Timberlake there.
Oh, that was incredible.
Yeah, and there's no bad seats in the house. Yeah, it's great, but in a private suite,
For my birthday.
it's going to be good. Oh, what? Oh, we went and saw Justin Timberlake for your birthday, yeah. So then we'll have a great time there watching Shakira. You've seen some video of her tour already. What are you thinking?
I think I'm going to cry.
You
when I
really?
yes.
You cried at Adele.
I know. I just never thought I would see Shakira in person.
Yeah, I haven't seen her either, and I've got a huge crush on her. Sorry, but, you know.
Are you going to cry?
I won't cry, but I may drool a little bit when those hips are shaking.
It's okay.
Yeah, I've always thought she was such a little hottie, and I've enjoyed her music, even though I can't understand half of it.
I'll
But
translate
it'll
for
be
you.
fine. So anyway, we're going to have a good time there. The party bus will take back to my house, where we will unload and continue the evening to wherever it goes. Mm-hmm. We've seen people almost make it. You know, remember Victoria was passed out on the couch.
Yes.
And then there's a couple other people you thought they were party animals, but they just didn't make it.
No.
We had some instances where tops came off and people jumped in the pool, and it'll be in the middle of the summer, so you never know.
It happens every party.
Not every party. Hasn't happened every party.
No.
No, just the last two. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. And then Monday, we're going to have like a brunch and wrap everything up and take those back to the airport that need to go. And some people hang around and just hang around and hang around. Hey, we'll accommodate you as long as we can. So I have to get back to work to pay for all this stuff. But anyway, come join us. And then if you do apply and you're a Patreon member, you're going to get priority judging. Now, it's free to become a Patreon member. We have some tiers that start as low as $10 a month. And basically, it's our fan club. It's our podcast fan club, and we really appreciate the support. Even if you're not participating in Patreon and you're just a $10 member, it does help go towards the expenses. We use that to pay for studio. I use that to pay Lily. I use that to help with the party. I do not make any profit from this. Yeah, I thought when I started it, maybe one day I would. I'm really doing it just as a labor of love. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate all the letters and the emails I get and the thoughts of the, hey, thank you so much, Marcus and Lily, for doing this. You have no idea what lives you are changing. And I had no idea, but I'm hearing from you guys that you are appreciative of this. So we'll keep it going as long as we can. And so if you're a Patreon member, you're going to help us a lot because it is a costly venture to do this. Time. It takes a lot of my time and money. So you're shaking your head, yes.
It does.
Well, you see with the time I spend on editing those things and putting them on Patreon, putting the teasers in there, trying to do the social media. You know, sometimes I wonder why the fuck I'm doing this. But I enjoy it.
Yeah, you do.
And we just
love it.
We keep encountering situations and stories where when you think you've seen it all or heard it all, something else pops up. Sugar dating evolves just as anything does. It's still pretty much the same as when I started back in 2016. What does that make me now? 8 years ago? Wow. 9 years ago? Gosh, it's been that long. But it's subtly changed. Seeking has changed. I've met some of the most amazing people I ever thought I would meet. I have some of the greatest friends from this lifestyle that I never would have met if I wasn't doing this. So I'm very, very thankful for it.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Now back to the show with your host.
Nerds! Today's episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. Want to travel like a savvy jet setter? No, that doesn't mean monogramming your passport. It means making smart decisions every step of your trip, which means knowing your options. Smart Travel unpacks the facts, like which booking sites actually save money, how to fly first class using points, and if that fancy travel card is a smart investment. All so you can save more on your next adventure. Follow Smart Travel from NerdWallet today and start traveling like a pro.
Marcus.
Alejandra, you've been sugar dating now for almost 3 years.
Yes.
Let's get a 3-year report.
Okay.
All right.
Now?
Yeah, we're doing this now. You jumped on.
Oh my gosh.
and you just kind of felt the waters for the first month. You didn't really do a lot. You met
I met some really good people from the beginning.
the guy from Tucson.
Yes.
And you guys are still friends to this day?
We're still friends.
On social media, he still comments, you guys talk?
Yeah, we talk a little bit more now, but Naki's a good person.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed my time with him.
It didn't work out there, but he ended up getting another girl or something. It didn't work out. It just kind of ebbs and flows. You never really lose them. They just kind of, they get busy. Yeah. And then when they're not, they reach out and...
They always come back, like Marcus will say.
Oh, yes, they do, don't they? Yes, they do. All right. He was one of the first guys you met?
Second.
He was the second guy?
Yeah.
Well, who was the first guy?
Gosh, what can we call him?
Was he the guy that you gave massages to?
Let's call him...
Yeah. It was, huh?
No. Oh, yes. Yeah. Facials.
Facials.
Like professional facials.
He was the first guy you met?
Yes. We went to the Henry. And I remember just
like
there,
the meet and greet was the Henry?
Yeah. The meet and greet was at the Henry. And I was very nervous.
We'll call him Suave.
Suave. No, he's not Suave.
Huh?
He's not Suave.
Oh, okay.
But okay, we can call him that. Anyways, I was very nervous going into my first meeting.
What were you thinking?
I don't know.
Did you know when you signed up for Seeking, what were you thinking it was all about? Your friend had told you about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
All she said is treat it like you would any dating app. Go in with the intention to have fun. Don't expect anything from the other person, and then let it like slowly just develop into something else. But just make sure that you do eventually get compensated, and this is the range. Mm-hmm. So then me going into my first
Now, what'd you
meeting
think about that? What'd you think about...
Oh, I thought it was all a lie. I'm like, this is too good to be true. What do you mean that I'm going out on a date, experiencing fun dates and dinners, fine dining, maybe taking it one step further and being with someone that you're just as attractive, and at the end
you were
leaving
25?
with some... Yeah.
And you had some serious relationships before that.
I have, yeah.
But those were...
Oh, I was pouring so much of myself in those relationships.
Yeah, and they weren't being providers.
They were not. I was being the provider.
Yeah. How fucked up is that?
I was the alpha. I was the dominant one.
Did you, at that time, did you think, what is wrong with this situation? Or you just thought that's the way it is?
I thought that was the way it was. I feel like Seeking really taught me how to be more feminine, be more in the receiver side, and being okay with that. Mm-hmm. Because back then I would not let any man provide for me. Like, to me, that was like very, very hard.
But that's not your
accept.
culture. Why were you feeling like that?
Because in every relationship, I was the one giving, buying things for them, and, putting my half. I was just not used to it. Mm-hmm. So going into this, I knew that, I'm going to let a man spoil me and treat me good. And I can never go back now.
Yeah. You go in there, you're nervous, you go on your first date. Mm-hmm. How'd that go?
Oh, it was super good. But I knew immediately that I wasn't going to want to get intimate with him. He gave me a lot of the friend vibes. And I was honest with him because he was very, very feminine. Very feminine. Mm-hmm. And I remember before the date ended, I said, hey, I really, really enjoyed our conversation, just the date overall. But I feel like we can only be friends. I had to be honest with him.
Well, I guess that's the best way to do it. Mm-hmm. If you are just not feeling it, but you respect them as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they can take that.
And he did. He was really nice. And then after that, he would just invite me out for dinners. He never compensated me for any of that. And like I said, I genuinely did enjoy his company. So I was fine. And then he learned that he knew that I was into aesthetics and that I was giving facial. He's like, hey, I would love for you to give me a facial. So then I think it was just a couple of times that I've given him a facial.
So he never helped you financially? Mm-mm. Interesting.
Nope. He also, I was in Vegas with my family, and he drove all the way to Vegas to take me out on a date.
After you had the talk?
This was maybe like 3 months in.
And you'd already had the talk about you put him in the friend zone?
Yes.
Why would he do that?
I don't know. because maybe he was hopeful that the situation was going to change, but it never
So
did.
you put him in the friend zone, but then he kind of hung around hoping that things would change.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of hints that he would throw out there in him wanting to pursue something more with me, but I would always like friend zone him. And he would get so upset and then not talk to me and then try it again the next week. Hey, do you want to go out for brunch or dinner? Okay, I'll meet you for dinner. And then the dinner would end and we'll go our different ways. And then after that, I met the guy from Tucson. And then I met you.
I was the third one?
Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
Maybe I did know that. I haven't put this timeline together in a long time. We haven't talked about it. But I'd been talking to you for like a month
Yes.
because I told you about the podcast. And some people get really turned off. Like I had a girl block me the other day. She's the one who asked me about the podcast. I didn't even bring it up because I just had a little blurb about it in my profile. I just say, I like podcasting about this lifestyle. That's it. I don't mention anything else. And she's like, why do you do a podcast?
Was this on regular dating or?
No, this is
Seeking?
on Seeking. Now, I saw her on Bumble
Okay.
and we matched and then I didn't respond in time. So it unmatched us or I couldn't respond. I don't pay for Bumble. It's a waste of my time. So I saw her on Seeking and she had the same dumbass 5 pictures. It's 5 pictures of her in the exact same outfit in different poses. And they're all blurry. It's horrible.
Yeah.
So anyway, she messages me and says, why do you do a podcast? And I go, I don't know. It's kind of just fun. You know, I enjoy it. And we've helped a lot of people. And now we do some coaching. And she's like, well, this isn't your platform. I'm not here to be recruited to your show. This is not the platform. And then she blocked me. I didn't even get a chance to respond. I'm like, you asked me why I do a podcast. I didn't even ask you anything. So anyway, she blocked me. The funny thing is, I guess she lost her login account or something on Bumble. And I see her on there again. And she says on there, hey, this is my second account. I can't get into my first one or whatever. So I just said, oh, this will be funny. And I swiped right on her. And she matched again. She matched again with me. But on my Bumble, I have a full face profile. On Seeking, I don't. She never saw what I look like.
Did you reach out to her?
Yeah. So I go, hey, I was like, I messaged her. I go, hey, I'm not on here much, but you can message me at, and I gave her my Google Voice number, right? I forgot that I have a picture of me and Kimmy doing a podcast. And in the background of my photo on Bumble, I have the Secrets of a Sugar Daddy on the television screen. So if you zoom in, you can read it. And then I went back, I noticed she was gone.
Oh,
She
no.
unmatched me.
She remembered.
Well, she probably saw that. Because a lot of times on Bumble, you see one photo and then you just swipe right or left, right? You don't go through the whole profile. And then when she looked at the whole profile, I think she figured out, oh my God, here's that guy again. So
Blocked.
yeah, so she blocked me again. Anyway, her profile is horrible. I just thought it would be a fun game to see if I could actually get her in person.
You love doing that.
Yeah, it was a challenge.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, it didn't work out. So back to my point, some people appreciate me bringing up the show and others do not like it at all.
Oh, I loved your show. When
But you took it in and started listening.
Well, okay, I remember when I read your profile, it said you do a podcast on this lifestyle. And so I started listening and I actually didn't get back to you for, I think, a month because I was just trying to catch up.
We chatted just a little bit.
Yeah, just
Because
few
you'd ask me
messages.
questions.
Yeah. But I was like, okay, I really want to meet him. However, I don't know if he's looking for a sugar baby because I'm like, if he has a podcast, he has a roster. He has a fan.
You would think.
He has so many fangirls waiting,
One would think.
waiting for their opportunity to have a date with Marcus. So I'm like, we're going to give this a try. I have no expectations. I'm like, I want to meet him, ask him questions. I was very intrigued. So then I did reach out to you and we went out on our first date.
Yep.
Our meet and greet.
Yeah. And we had chicken wings and Marcus had wandering eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Alejandra has reminded me about many, many times.
Yes. I was going to walk away from there just like, all right, maybe we can just be friends.
Until.
I learned a lot of great advice from him and just listening to all the guests from the podcast. And I remember that every time that I would listen to the podcast, I would have a little notepad.
Yeah.
And
You're
I
a
would
good
take
student.
notes.
Yeah.
And I would take notes. And that's how I got my Google voice, because of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And just how to vet men, the good ones. So thank you, Marcus.
Yeah.
And here we are 3 years later.
Yeah. I'm shaking my head at this one. Because, it's been an interesting ride.
It has. It's been a roller coaster.
All right. So back to your lessons learned. We didn't go exclusive or anything. You were still dating people. I was still dating people. What were you finding out there?
Let's see. I don't know. So many men who just wanted just very transactional, more like, let's meet at a hotel and I'll give you this amount of money. I was also finding a lot of men who just didn't want a sugar, but wanted everything, like no exclusivity, or I just want I want to get straight to being exclusive with you.
Yeah.
I knew for myself that if I'm going to enjoy someone, I need to have that emotional connection with them, as well as physical attraction. And with physical attraction, I'm not just saying like you need to have the abs, the height. I feel like that comes with character too. So then I knew I couldn't be selective and picky on who I wanted to be with, because at that time I did have a full-time job that I was making decent money. So I wasn't desperate for money. But I feel like after I met you, we were seeing each other very consistently, once a week for like 2 months. And then Marcus texts me saying, I'm done with this one a day shit week. Or no, wait, what did you say? I'm done with this 1 day a week bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we can do more. Let's do twice a week. And then 3 times a week.
No, 3 times a week was too much for my budget.
And then every day.
Yeah. Well, I worked it because I had to put you on an allowance at that point.
I do remember. I remember our conversation.
Because we were on PPM.
We were. And then one night I was just laying in your bed. And you're like, I really like you. And we've been hanging out a lot. What if we do like an allowance? I didn't think much of it. I've never been on a allowance before. It's always been a PPM. I feel like that's very safe and just more convenient. But for me, I feel like we had already established a really good foundation and trust. And, I was growing to liking you more and more and more. I'm like, that would be very nice.
Yeah. And then that way you just Zell you or whatever once a week, and then we can see each other whatever.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to worry about...
No pressure.
Yeah, now I don't have to worry about, can I really afford it? Seeing her 4 times a week or whatever, right? If we see each other 4 times a week, great. If we see each other once, it's just what it is.
Yep.
So it started working out. Now, what do you think of the girls that say, I want an allowance? They want to be put on a weekly or monthly allowance from the very get-go. Because I have a lot of people on Seeking who want that from the very beginning. They do not want PPM. And I'm like, how am I even going to get to know you? I can't commit to this.
I've never been a big fan of a monthly allowance from the start. I feel like you have to build. You have to really get to know the person to see if it's going to be like a long-term thing. Now, if there is potential for something more, then I would be into an allowance. Especially if you want to have just like, hey, tomorrow I have off, let's go out for breakfast. So, I don't know. I'm not a fan of allowances from the start, because what if you don't end up liking them?
Right.
Now you're pressured to see him 4 or 5, however many times you told him you were going to see him. And then for the guy's perspective, what if you give them their monthly allowance and then they ghost you?
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
like we talked about Dr. Charles. A couple of times he gave his monthly allowance was $4,000. This was years ago. And he gave a couple girls their first monthly allowance, and then you never saw them again. They just disappeared.
Terrible.
And I talk about that too in the very beginning of this podcast. My first guest, the second show, she was great. And I really liked her a lot. And she wanted to be put on a monthly. And I said, yeah, okay, that's fine. We could do that. And the first month was great. But I felt like she was really struggling to find the time to see me and like forcing it because she's like, well, I got to commit to this because he's committed to this. But she made it work. And then the second month I was like, okay, well, this is going okay. So I gave her monthly allowance. And then within 1 week of that second month, she messaged me and she goes, hey, can we talk on the phone?
Oh, no.
And I was like, well, I'm kind of in a meeting right now. What's up? And she says, hey, I'm really, really sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen, but I met someone and we're going to go exclusive and it's a vanilla relationship. And I'm really sorry. I didn't tell you earlier, but I wouldn't want to continue with this. And I'm like, oh, no, I understand. I mean, it happens. I'm happy for you. And she goes, if you want to call me and talk about it, we can. I'm like, no, there's really no need. I mean, it is what it is, right?
Did she give you...
Oh, hell no.
Really?
Do you think I got a dime back of that?
I would have given you something.
I know.
Or all of it, if anything.
Yeah. So it wasn't going to break me and I'd already given it to her, so I'd already considered it, but it would have been nice if she offered. Now, you know what? If she would have offered, you know what I would have said?
Keep it.
Keep it. Absolutely. No problem. Just keep it. I really appreciated our time with you. But the fact that she didn't even offer it or didn't even make any effort to basically make me feel like I just didn't get ripped off.
Were you on a budget that month?
Well, yeah, I'm on a budget
allowance?
every month. I mean, geez, I'm considered wealthy by some, but others I'm not considered wealthy at all. I still work my ass off every day to support you and my other dates that I go on and all my workers, my assistants, and yeah, I mean, everything. I'm still very, very, I can't just blow money like that, right?
Right.
Yeah, I've got to be careful or it can go very quickly.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
You want to get the most for your money. That's why more Mazda buyers choose Ramsey Mazda. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 all-wheel drive, only $179 a month. Or buy and get 0.9% APR financing for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Call 833-853-2970 for details. Excludes tax, title, and registration. Zero security deposit. VIN SM808128. MSRP 27105. Ends 33125.
I said on the Fargo podcast, I think it's called Fargo Factor or Fargo Talks. Anyway, I added it up. So I've been doing this 9 years. I'm sure it's at $1 million I've spent on sugar dating. I mean, you think about it. If I'm giving you, let's say, $5,000 or $6,000 a month in allowance, that doesn't even include
date nights,
the dates, the travel, the tickets to shows, the dinners. It doesn't include any of that.
Plus the other girls that you're also dating.
That's just you. I pay for your gym membership. I pay for your car insurance. I pay for all your food while you're working. I noticed those go on my credit card. So there's a lot. So when you add it up, I'm like, damn, times 9, I'm spending this much a year, times 9. Holy shit.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. So, and then other people are like, oh, that's nothing. I'm spending, Dr. Charles has spent multi-millions of dollars.
Goodness.
And then, the comments we get from people, Fargo put together a reel about that subject, about how much we're spending. And of course, we get all the keyboard warriors saying that we're just a bunch of simps. We have to pay girls to go out with us, and we can't get anybody to go out with us unless we pay. No, it's a cheat code. It's a shortcut.
It's
I don't want to.
start.
You know how many people I match with on Bumble? I'll swipe 1,000 times. Let me ask you. I pretty much know this number. I swipe 1,000 times on Bumble on girls that I find attractive. How many do you think I match with?
Oh, I've seen it.
How many?
1, if you're lucky.
No, on 1,000? More than 1.
1.
But it's a small number. On 1,000 swipes,
You get maybe 5.
between 10 to 15 matches. That's it. The average male, statistics show the average male is only getting 4%. Like the women only swipe right on like 4% of the men. Out of 100 men, 96 are being swiped left.
Jeez.
96. How am I supposed to get through that noise and that bullshit? I like to go out. I like to do things. I like to date beautiful, attractive women who have great personalities. Sorry. How am I going to get through that? Well, I use my cheat code. Hey, I don't care. Let's go out on a date and there's something financially in it for you. Then you go, oh, well, I mean, at least I can go out, have a nice time, hopefully. And if at the end it's not that great, at least it's worth my time.
Yeah.
It's not a waste of your time. So that's why I love this lifestyle, because now I can have more dates than I'd ever want or need. I respond to people I get lots of messages on Seek. I respond to some that I find their profiles interesting, and I've showed you those, and some of them have bailed and ghosted me lately, which is really dumb. I don't know what's going on in their world, but man, you take all that time and then you waste mine. But and you're passing up some really cool opportunities potentially. But anyway,
Their loss.
yeah, no, their loss. I know. I definitely consider it their loss. I'm not even proactive on trying to find anybody to date.
You're
and
not.
I could date more people in a week than I have time for because of sugar dating, because there is something financial in it for them at least, or something bigger and better than the average vanilla date offers. So for all you naysayers and haters saying, I can't get a woman unless I pay her, I can get them. It's so much work and time that I don't have. I'm not going to go to a bar and hit on women. It's not my style. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I don't know their situation. I don't want to be the creepy old guy that walks away and they're like, can you believe that guy came up and talked to us? I couldn't get rid of him fast enough. I do not want to be that guy. I hate feeling like that guy. But at least on online dating, hey, they're available, you're available, we're looking for the same thing, and I feel super comfortable doing it.
What's also nice is there's no pressure to it
No, I don't feel any pressure.
from either side.
Yeah. No, I love it.
You have a good time, you enjoy whatever date it's going to happen, or and then you go both your ways.
All right, so back to Alejandra's 3-year journey of sugar dating. Why are you rolling your eyes?
Well, what are you going to ask?
Well, all right, so I took you on some pretty fabulous dates and started spoiling you better than the other guys. I know that. Took you to the weekend concert. That was one of our first. That's where you met Lily.
No.
And you met Kimmy. You met Kevin.
Wait, no, I met Lily way before that.
Oh, wait, you met her, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who
But
else did I meet?
it was Kevin
Kevin.
and Kimmy.
Yeah, it's just us. 5. Yeah.
Was it? Seemed like, yeah, I guess so, huh? Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun. And that was just the start
We went
of
to
our
Hawaii.
adventures. Yeah, we went to Hawaii.
That was one of our big trips.
Mm-hmm.
First big trips.
Yeah.
And then we went up north, Prescott.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember I was so nervous.
Our first travel was up to Prescott.
Yeah.
Now, Prescott's this tiny little town. It's a little more elevated than Phoenix, kind of up the hill, we say, towards Flagstaff. Beautiful pine trees, forest feeling. They got some lakes there. They got a cute little square with the courthouse in the middle and bars and restaurants surrounding. Just like a small little town. Looks like something right out of like Back to the Future or something, with the town square.
That was my first time
Of what?
being there, visiting.
Yeah, you'd never visited.
No?
So that was fun. We went to some bars and saloons.
Yes.
Had a neat little time. And then I rented us a little bed and breakfast.
Yes.
It was actually a hotel that's a bed and breakfast, not an Airbnb.
I believe that was also our first time sleeping just overnight.
Yeah. So you were...
That was a big moment for me.
Yeah, so you were nervous to see how things would go.
Well, I was so nervous for the drive.
The drive?
Yes. Because I'm like, okay, this is what, like 3.5 hours?
Not that long. It's like a couple hours.
Okay. I'm like, what are we going to talk for 2
Oh, Miss
hours?
Alejandra, who never is short of anything to say, worrying about what we're going to talk about.
Yes. I was like, I don't know. I just didn't know how we were going to get on. I'm like, I'm going to be with him 24/7. How is that going to look like?
That was a big test.
It was.
Because not everybody travels well together.
We travel very well together. I like it. You're pretty spontaneous. You like the outdoors. You like everything.
Yeah.
I feel like we're very compatible in those things.
Yeah, I'm adventurous.
You're very adventurous.
And willing to try new things, at least once.
Once or twice. It went well.
So that was a big test in our sugar relationship there, traveling together, and that worked out fine.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we planned that trip to Hawaii, which was really cool because I'd never been.
Oh, wait, no, you also took me to
I took you to
Grand Canyon.
I took you to Grand Canyon.
That was my first time experiencing.
And I took you to Dallas, and we went and saw Post Malone.
And I met your family.
You met my and
your
then
brother.
Yeah, and then we took a tour of the Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Yes.
Went to a football game there.
We saw Post Malone.
Yeah. And then what happened there was I'm looking at pictures of myself, and I am a way over like the heaviest I'd been. And you challenged me to the
75 hard.
75 hard.
And you complete it.
Yeah. I said, all right, we're starting tomorrow.
Yes.
You're like,
I remember.
Well, what about next week or next month? I'm like, no. Starting tomorrow.
I think even when we were in Hawaii, we were still doing it.
Yeah. I was finishing it up.
Yeah.
I remember still trying to work out.
What did you gain from it?
The 75 hard?
Yes.
Well, what did I lose from it?
Both.
Well, I lost 25 pounds.
Nice.
That was a big thing.
Well, I had you on the carnivore diet.
Yeah, the carnivore diet. And then I completely lost my indigestion and my heartburn. Completely. Just went away because we were drinking a gallon of water a day. And I was eating better. I wasn't eating any spicy foods. Wasn't eating late at night. Wasn't overeating. That's for sure. I'd cut out Diet Coke too.
That was the big one.
The carbonated sodas. And then, and you know what I figured out too is when you cut out something you really like Diet Coke, I found an 87% decrease in my joy and happiness.
I know you were going to say that.
Yeah. And then reading the 10 pages a day of a non-fictional book, that actually surprised me. First of all, that I could do it, that I had time to do it. And second of all, how many books I went through. And third, how much information and how much wiser I became because of that process. That part surprised me. It was more than just losing 25 pounds.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, what else did you gain from it?
Right.
Proud of you.
Yeah. So that was a really cool experience that I would have probably never done.
Would you do it again?
Yeah, I'd do it again. Knowing how tough it was to get through it, I would be going into it going, oh God. But really the first 3 weeks were the toughest.
Yes.
Getting on schedule, getting on track, giving up all that stuff that I was used to doing, that was the hardest part. And then once I got past the 3 week part, then I just started churning. And really, and I talk about this, and I did a video after I was done. Really, I did not do 75 hard. I did 1 day hard.
Oh, I like that.
I really did. In my mind, I had to do 1 day hard.
Good.
And then I did 1 day hard. And then I did another day hard. And I strung 75 of those fucking hard days together.
Let's do it again.
So that's the only way I could get my mind to wrap around this and get through it, is just doing 1 day hard. And it wasn't even that hard. It's a very simple plan.
It's just making the time.
But it's just the time management.
Time management, yes.
You work out 45 minutes twice a day, and one of them has to be outdoors. So there's an hour and a half of working out, but you can't do them consecutive. You got to separate them.
Right.
And then you got to find time to read the 10 pages, and then you got to do the gallon of water a day, which, boy, if you don't manage that. You know what? Nothing more that I loved was getting done with that by 5 p.m.
Oh, same.
Because like it is 9 o'clock and I still got a quart to go. I was like, oh my God, I got to down this thing.
You have to take a picture every day.
Yeah, you got to take a
Progress
picture every day. Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, that's easy, but sometimes you just forget. You just got to I'd have to get up and out of bed. Oh yeah, I got to take my freaking picture. So Yeah.
Follow a diet.
And then follow the diet, which, I mean, you got to eat good. Mm-hmm. You got to eat healthy. So that was an experience that we had in our first 6 months.
Yeah. What else have we done?
Well, then things kind of progressed, and we were trying to figure out whether or not we were going to continue seeing all these other people or we were going to be exclusive.
Oh, right. That was around October.
So when
I had a really bad experience.
Yeah. So
And that's what made it for me.
here you are still dating. I'm still dating. Our relationship is growing. And then you had a really bad experience that we talked about. I don't remember what episode that was, but it was a BDSM experience that you didn't know you were walking into. You were open to the idea because you'd already expressed an openness to it to me.
Yes.
And you were curious about it. And then all of a sudden this guy presented it to you unexpectedly. So you went, oh, okay, well, I guess here we go. And it didn't go well at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
Looking back at it, I feel like it just never happened.
It was like an out-of-body experience.
It was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can like sit here and really think hard and put myself through that situation like, all over again, but it was definitely an out-of-body experience.
I'm going to look this episode up here real quick because I want to reference it. If you want to hear the episode in full, the episode was 129. So if you guys want to reference episode 129, you get into the whole thing. We're not going to rehash it. My original co-host, Amy, came in to help you through it because she has a lot of experience in that. And she was kind of telling you what went wrong and why you shouldn't feel bad about what happened.
Right.
Yeah. So it was a really interesting episode and an interesting experience. You're not the only one that's been through that. So I thought it was important that you share your story, and you bravely did. And I've gotten a lot of comments. Matter of fact, so many people that have applied for the party said that was one of their favorite episodes, believe it or not, even though it was a little dark.
It was.
I mean, we kind of made light of it a little bit, but we did get into some really deep stuff. It was a good episode. I get a lot of comments on it.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job posts seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs help you stand out and hire fast. With sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. And it makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed sponsored jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts, and you only pay for results. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/listen. Just go to Indeed.com/listen right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/listen. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
All right, you said you had a question for me?
Yes. So before we became exclusive, what stood out to you about me out of all the girls you were dating? Like, how deep were your feelings towards me? Like, do you ever see like the girls that you're, talking to and you ask yourself like, she's definitely one that I would want to pursue?
Well, I've had some
more of a
relationships from the get-go. The very first girl I ever met on Seeking, we got into a 1.5 year relationship. Now, I was never exclusive with her, and I knew it wasn't going to go much past what it did. It lasted 1.5 years, and we exhausted it, and it had to end. Even though I cared for her deeply, and I still care for her, and we're still friends to this day, I just knew that wasn't going to go anywhere, but I provided for her and helped her with some opportunities she never had before and that she probably won't have again. Now, the problem is she didn't take advantage of those opportunities, and I'm not going to just sit here and pour my time and money and emotional exhaustion into somebody that's not taking advantage of the breaks that I'm providing or the opportunities I'm providing. So it ended. In the meantime, towards the end of it, I had met Madison, and we had that on and off thing for 2.5 years. Now, even though we were off and on, we never really stopped communicating. She really was looking for love. She was looking for somebody to marry. She put up with me for a while as I was non-committal with her. And she would get a boyfriend, and then, I was like, okay, well, message me when that doesn't work out. And sure enough, they always come back. And I really enjoyed her. I loved her and her kids, and I cared for them deeply, but I never really wanted to be in the same place that she did, and that was working towards marriage, until we did break up for like a month. And then I decided that I was ready. But then when I was ready, she wasn't. And then 3 to 4 months later, it just all blew up and never came back. And now she's happily married, moved to a different city, doing wonderfully. She gave up alcohol, which I didn't realize was that big of an issue because she was a happy drunk. So we didn't really see it being a problem, but I could tell there was problems with her parenting skills and the way she was neglecting her kids, and the kids were feeling some distress. From what I've heard and a little bit I've seen, it's an amazing, amazing turnaround. So I'm very, very happy for her now. So that was another relationship that I had. But being married for 16 years and pretty much a loveless marriage and a sexless marriage is still scary for me to commit, because as soon as I commit, I feel like I'm going back to that marriage mentality. And then what happened with Madison was, as soon as we both committed to start towards getting married and we started going to marriage counseling, I started getting short with her. I started getting jealous. I started getting possessive. I started all these things that I wasn't before. I didn't care before. We'd go out, we'd have fun, we'd go our separate ways, we'd do it again and again and again. And then all of a sudden, when it turned into a real relationship, these weird feelings started coming into my head, like scenarios. And then I'm like, what? Who is this guy? I don't even recognize him, right? Now, the beautiful thing is, for you and for anybody that I ever meet afterwards, if I ever meet anybody else, is that breakup was so tough for me due to some timing issues, due to some other things, that I was pretty heartbroken, and I lost a lot of weight. I had anxiety. I couldn't sleep. I didn't know which direction I was going to go. While she was out there partying and moving somebody in to my house that she was renting from me immediately, I took the time to heal, and I took the time to grow, and I took the time to become a better version of myself. And I took the time to learn about relationships and how they work and what makes things go the way they go in a generalization. There's always outliers, but in a general sense, I have much better understanding of how to deal with not only my emotions, but other people's emotions, and it's made me a better person. I'm very thankful for that, because I would have had no reason to do that research and growth if I wouldn't have gone through that hard breakup. So I refer to the Chinese farmer so often. I even have a link to it on the website. But if you look up the Chinese farmer, it's basically the story of a lot of times bad things happen for good reasons. Yes. And you just got to look for those reasons and not waller in the sorrow of the sadness or of what's happened to you and think, oh, woe is me, because something greater is waiting for you. It really is. And you just have to open your eyes and start digging around and look, and you're going to find it. Whatever it is, it's there. I promise you it's there, because I've seen it not only in my life over and over and over again, but in so many other people's lives that I observe. I see bad thing happening, and then all of a sudden I see them come out or have an opportunity, and it's so much better for them, and they just didn't realize it at the time. So that was another relationship that I had that has made me a better person because of this. So what was the question?
Let's move on.
Let's move on. You know what?
We don't even have time. We need like 3 hours.
This is going to have to be a part 2 and a part 3, unfortunately. Well, let's just wrap up with our timeline. We went exclusive, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Around October of 2020.
And it started,
2023.
and it was okay for a while, but it started feeling like a marriage to me, and I don't think I was ready for that.
To you, yes.
Now, you've never been married.
My perspective was different.
Your perspective was different. How did it feel for you?
I loved it.
Yeah?
Yes. I loved it.
Then why were you so agreeable to be open?
Well, because
Again.
I've noticed at the end of our exclusivity of our relationship, it was becoming less, I would say like normal, like just comfortableness. And I've noticed that like just your energy and it was like your energy and your commentaries that I knew you weren't having a good time. I just knew that this wasn't for you. And because I just felt like I kind of forced you into the exclusivity. I felt like I forced you to be exclusive with me because of what happened. My personal experience with the BDSM.
Mm-hmm.
Where if that didn't happen, would you have gone exclusive with me without me asking for it?
Right. I don't think I was ready.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like you're never ready for something until you try it. And we tried it. Are you ready now?
Well, I'm probably more ready than I was back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm ready like today, but I'd probably be
He's
more
like, give me 5 more years.
Well, my dating lately has just sucked. So I had one of the worst meet and greets I've had in a long time the other day. This girl messaged me, and then I just as we got closer to the meeting, some of the way she verbed things, she just sounded hood to me, like she was from the hood. She just didn't speak very educated, which, each their own. It's just not who I prefer to hang out with, right?
Right.
But she was cute, and I thought, well, I'm not going to judge her. I'll give her an opportunity, right? So then we show up. She didn't wear any makeup. She didn't dress up. She was 45 minutes late. Now, she did message me the whole time, and she gave me some bullshit excuse about the Uber guy missed his exit, and now they're catching every light. I'm like, no, from where you were telling me you were coming from, it doesn't take that long, even if he missed an exit. Anyway, I wasn't buying her story. We met. I instantly knew I wanted to end this night. And we'd actually talked about some PPM ahead of time, and I ended up giving her like just a snippet of that as I wished her well and sent her on her way. She didn't even try. Conversation was horrible. It was just terrible. You're trying to find a high value man, and this is the effort that you're putting forth. Come on. Like I here I am taking my time out of my night. I don't have very many nights available.
You do not.
Yeah. You guys were out. You
on a
and
date.
Yeah, you were out or something.
Me and Eva,
yeah.
Which our date was also as
Which
bad.
your date didn't go well, but at least it was with a high value man.
True.
but that didn't go as well as expected. You went to a nice restaurant. And,
oh God, the best restaurant.
Yeah.
You Probably my favorite one right now.
333?
Yes.
There in Tempe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's right by our gym, right by F45. That's another thing I've started doing, working out. I work out every single morning, pretty much, except a couple on the weekends when I'm playing golf. But that's one thing I wasn't doing before I met Alejandra.
No, I'm the one that's not working.
Yeah, now here I am paying for your gym membership, and you're not even showing up.
I've been showing up the last 4 days.
Yeah, it's because you're on spring break. But anyway, we'll get you a little bit more consistent on that. But to wrap up, let's talk about your tatas. So you are now, what are you now?
3 months.
4 months?
No,
4 months.
3 months.
3.5.
3.5?
Yeah. Well, you got it in December, January, February, March.
Well, today was my 3-month appointment last week.
Yeah. Yeah. So how are they feeling?
Oh, they feel part of me.
Now, I tell you what, you have started wearing clothing that accentuates the tatas.
Oh, dressing up has been so much fun.
Yeah. Now, your mom She doesn't have any plastic surgery.
No.
And she was very hesitant about giving her blessing to you. And she was actually trying to convince you not to do this. Yeah. And I get it. Like, I like a natural woman, but you had some issues and your breasts just didn't sit right. And I volunteered to help you get them right.
Thank you.
Where you like them, along with a couple other guys. So
you changed my life.
Yeah. So would you recommend this for somebody?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
Okay.
Get them.
Yeah. You're having
But
a great
honestly,
time.
I'm very happy that I got them now that I'm 28 and not when I was like younger. Because I feel like a lot of the times when you're younger and you make decisions like plastic surgery, you're not doing it for yourself, but you're doing it to please others.
Yeah.
Where I feel like right now, my wisdom and my perspective and the things that I do for myself now is for me and not for other people. So.
Well, we were at a comedy show the other night, and it was Ron White, and there, oh my gosh, that place was packed. And he had 2 shows that night. We were at Talking Stick Casino.
They sold out.
They were sold out. I don't even know how many thousands and thousands of people were in there for the first show. But anyway, it was over. It was so crowded, but we weren't ready to go home. So we were with Trucker and Lily, and we said, you guys want to go up to the top of they have a restaurant at the top of the casino. They got a little bar up there too, and it had a little band. And they're like, yeah, let's go up there and have a few drinks. So we're having a couple drinks, and lo and behold, who walks right next to you? Ron White.
Yes.
The comedian, while he was waiting for his second show. So you and Lily, and we'll post a picture of this on the Patreon if it's not already on there, but we'll post a picture. So you and Lily go over there and see if you can get a picture with him, and he's talking to somebody, right?
Oh, yes.
But he cannot keep his eyes off of you guys.
Yes.
Both of you looked amazing.
Thank you.
And then what did he say when Lily asked for a photo?
Lily said, do you mind if we take a picture with you? We are big fans. He like stared down.
He's staring.
Yeah.
He goes,
and then looked at the boobs.
Yeah.
Both of us. He's like, I do not mind at all.
So you're going to see a big shit-eating grin from Ron White and these 2 girls as they got to meet, one of the top comedians in the world.
I mean, love him. He's so funny.
He's absolutely one of the funniest guys I've ever seen. I mean, he's 68 years old now.
Also, Marcus got to meet my other sugar daddy.
Oh, man. Do we even have time to talk about this? All right, real quick.
How did you feel?
So here we are. Here we are up at this bar, and it's not very crowded. It should have been more crowded, you would have thought, but it wasn't that crowded. So we're sitting there. We had got our drinks. We're sitting in this little booth area, and then Alejandra goes, oh, what are we calling him?
Jalen.
Oh, my God, there's Jalen, who she was just with the night before, just with him.
Yes.
So you get
yes,
up,
I was.
You go say, oh, my God.
I said,
what'd you do?
I said, I think that's Jalen.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is Jalen. Let me go say hi. So I got up. I went and tapped his shoulder and I said, what are you doing here? And then I explained, I'm like, I'm here with Lily, Trucker, and Marcus. Go say hi to them.
So he's a big fan of the show, and he's also a sponsor of the party. He's already paid, so he's coming to Sugarpalooza 6. Even though you didn't want him to originally.
Yeah, I didn't let him the last party.
Yeah.
But he will this party, and I think he's going to be, the girls are going to love him.
Yeah. So anyway, he knows us.
Yes.
Of course, he knows who I am.
Yes. He knows the situation.
Yeah. So you brought him over.
I mean, I think I caught both of you guys were not ready.
Of course, yeah. I wasn't expecting that.
He wasn't either. Mm-hmm. I think you both did great.
But here with Facebook and social media and all that stuff, I already knew what the guy looked like. I already,
I also wanted you guys to meet
I've heard you talk to
party.
him on the phone. I've already heard his voice.
Yes.
So wasn't like that big of a
I also
surprise.
felt like it's better that you met him before the party than like waiting to meet him at the party.
Yeah. So that was kind of an interesting situation for Alejandra. 2 of her sugar daddies were there.
I loved it.
You loved it?
I loved it.
Why were you basking in the sun so well? Huh?
I don't know. Just 2 of my guys. Same place.
Yeah.
What is not to love about it?
But the funny thing is, Lily and, I don't know, you were up there talking to him or something, and Lily had to go to the bathroom. So I'm sitting there next to Trucker, and he looks at me, because him and Lily are exclusive, and they live together. And he looks at me, and he just shakes his head. He's like, I don't know how you do it.
How do you do it, Marcus?
Well, I mean, I guess that's the price I got to pay for me to have my options open.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, you were wondering what we were going to talk about.
I feel like this is only like 5% of
I know. I had a lot more. We were going to talk about Kimmy getting back on SA. She's back in Scottsdale, and she's been sending us screenshots of messages. She just got on today, I think. So this guy named Jax, Jax, I'm calling him out because he's an idiot. He messaged her. He goes, "You're stunning. Are you sexually submissive? I'm Patrick." And she's like, "Ha, I'm in the wrong place." That's so Kimmy. And he goes, "Babe." And she goes, "Please don't talk to me like that. You wouldn't walk up to a 24-year-old in public and ask her that." And he goes, "Yeah, I would. It's what I like in a woman. If she isn't, we aren't a match." She goes, "Well, I am, but due to the way you speak, you'll never get to know. Good luck." And then she blocked him.
Oh, Kimmy.
Oh,
we need to bring
man.
her.
Yeah,
She
we'll
needs
have to
be
bring
part
her
of
in.
it.
If she's getting back on SA, we're going to have to
Even without
get
being on
updates from her.
Seeking, she has some stories.
Oh, God. she's got a
Endless
lot of
stories.
Yep. Endless. All right. Well, we've got to wrap up. Alejandra, thanks for coming in and filling in for Lily.
Marcus, thank you for having us.
All right.
For having me.
Yeah. Now, don't forget, guys, we'd love to have you as a member of our family at Patreon. So go to patreon.com/Secrets of a Sugar Daddy podcast. And it's free to join. And then if you want to support the show and appreciate what we do here, we'd appreciate you becoming at least a $10 tier member. And then if you want coaching and profile reviews, we have those as some upper tiers. And they're very, very cheap. And Lily does a great job. All right. Anything else?
I love you.
All right. Love you too. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to connect or even be on the show, we'd love to hear from you at secretsofasugardaddy.com.